Who's it from?
Good afternoon, and welcome to our first meeting in April. Appreciate everybody being here, those of you in our council chambers and also watching us on our Electric City television. Our invocation tonight will be given by Councilmember Beatrice Thompson, and respects to the flags will be led by Councilmember Buck Roberts. Please rise.
May we pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the privilege you've given us to assemble in this council chambers once more to conduct the business of our city. Help us in our deliberation to make those decisions that are in the best interest of our citizens and therefore pleasing and acceptable in your sight. And as we experience the best of times and the worst of times in our nation, we implore your strength that we might be instrumental in sowing seeds of peace, love, togetherness, compassion, and charity. We give you thanks and ask your blessings on our great community and its citizens. We thank you for our city employees and our city administration who work tirelessly to make our city the best it can be for everyone. May all we do and say here tonight be a blessing to all of us whose lives that we touch. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What I'd like to do before we start the body of our meeting, we have a proclamation, and I'm going to ask Dr. Evans Whitaker to come up and be with me. And while Evans is walking up here, I just want to briefly say that we are, and me and my fellow council members, are very proud of our strategic relationship with Anderson University. I think we are somewhat, the university and our organization went on a parallel course where we're growing, we're doing great things. And today I have a proclamation that I'd like to read in regards to a special day that Anderson University is having, and I'm going to ask Dr. Whitaker to give a few remarks after that. The proclamation reads, whereas Anderson University is a selective, comprehensive university offering bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees on campus and online. They are ranked as one of the best regional universities in South Carolina by both U.S. News and World Report and the Princeton Review. And whereas at the heart of their educational program is an uncompromising commitment to the liberal arts as a means of preparing students with both the breadth and depth of knowledge they need not only to be successful in the career of their choice, but to be successful in the realms of life and family, community, work, and church. And whereas April the 12th, 2018 is Anderson University, AU, second annual A-Day. And whereas A-Day is an exciting 24-hour fundraiser drive to support Anderson University students, faculty, and campus programs. It's a day for people everywhere to come together in support of Anderson University. Every gift makes a difference. And whereas the city of Anderson wishes Anderson University a successful A-Day, everyone can support the cause by joining the festivities. Partnerships promote unity in a thriving community. Now, therefore, I, Terrence V. Roberts, and my fellow council members do hereby proclaim April the 12th, 2018 as Anderson University A-Day in the city of Anderson, and encourage the community to share their support of AU on social media, support the cause, shine in your black and gold, and show the world that you are true to AU. Thank you.
Let's try that one more time.
There we go.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and members of City Council and administration and members of the community. We are so appreciative of this proclamation. We have a new tradition in A Day, and it's been quite successful and proven to be a day in which we get quite a lot of support from friends in the community, and we're just so grateful for that. We appreciate the wonderful relationship we have with the City of Anderson, with our community. This is a wonderful community in which to live, and it's a wonderful community in which to try to administer a growing university. And we're happy that it is growing and has been growing for the last few years, and happy to remind everyone that it's the second largest private university in the state now. And so we're not satisfied with that. We want to keep on going, but new and exciting things are happening all the time, and we couldn't be happier to be in the City of Anderson and to have good friends and neighbors that we do here in this town. So, Mr. Mayor and City Council members, thank you so much for this proclamation. We appreciate it and we cherish it.
Thank you.
The minutes to the minutes. Not hearing any, do I have a motion to approve? First by Mr. Stewart, second by Dr. Thompson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes of March 26 passed unanimously. We have 3 items of old business, and the first item is request consideration of an ordinance to amend section 17.5 in the Central Business District of the City of Anderson zoning ordinance. Ms. McConnell?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to call upon Planning and Development Director Maurice McKenzie, who can just hang out with us up here since the next 3 items are his.
Thank you.
Thank you. For this particular item, it's sometimes necessary to make refinements and adjustments to the zoning ordinance in order to maintain its efficiency. A lot of times there's changes in laws or technologies that require us to make some revisions to the zoning ordinance. And in this particular case, we are looking to revise and amend section 7.5 of the zoning ordinance, which pertains to the Central Business District, the CBD. And in this particular case, we're focusing closely on the area as it relates to churches, temples, synagogues, and other places of worship. Places of worship in the Central Business District, if you have a 2-acre minimum. It's a conditional use, a 2-acre minimum is required. Based on case law, other changes in laws across the country, we recommend that we remove it as a conditional use and just add it in our list of permitted uses. So in a sense, all we'll do is eliminate the 2-acre minimum. It's actually the only use or uses that require a 2-acre minimum in our CBD zoning ordinance. So that is our request to you tonight. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. I will open it up to discussion among council.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve this.
Second.
First by Ms. Harbin, second by Mr. Lockridge. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. The second item is request consideration of an ordinance to annex and zone 1709 South Murray Avenue extension to R5 single-family residential.
Yes, sir. This request is to annex the single-family dwelling. As you can see in your packet in the attached map, you'll see the location of this particular address, and actually one that we'll be talking about in a moment. The 1709 South Murray Avenue extension first. Again, it's just outside the city limits. As you can see, it borders the city limits to the south, so it is contiguous to the city. The applicant is requesting to annex into the city to receive city services. We are able to provide service in that area. We're already generally in that area, as you can see. So we do recommend approval of this annexation. It went before the Planning Commission last week. They unanimously recommended approval of it. We've had no calls or anything negative related to it.
Very good. Questions, comments?
Yeah, I think that's in my area.
Yes, ma'am.
We talked about it last week, and I don't know, anyone against this, so I move that we accept this nomination.
We have first by Dr. Thompson, second by the Mayor Pro Tem. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That passes unanimously. Our last item of old business is request consideration of an ordinance to annex end zone 1706 South Murray Avenue extension to R5 single family residential. Mr. McKenzie.
Yes, sir. Just moving across the street, not to sound like a broken record, same thing. Single-family residents, they request to annex into the city to receive city services. Actually, they would be contiguous to the city by virtue of 1709 coming into the city, but also the map doesn't show it, but they are contiguous to the city via the back of their property across Murray Avenue. When we annex property, we annex to the center line of the road, so it will be contiguous that way as well. So, again, Planning Commission heard this last week. They unanimously recommended approval of it as well.
Yeah, I recommend that we pass this ordinance.
First by Dr. Thompson,
Second.
second by Mr. Lockridge. Further discussion?
Got a question.
Question?
Does that mean that 1704 is not going to be in the city?
Right now, no, sir. Good question. They have been approached about annexing, and it recently changed hands, and they're just not quite ready yet to annex. They probably need a little bit more information, but we're working on it.
Okay.
Because we'd like to fill that little hole in as well.
Yep.
Does this mean that we will have further annexations throughout the city?
We shall see. We shall hope.
We hope so.
Got a first and a second. Any more questions? Ms. Stewart?
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to thank the Planning Commission for all the hard work they do for looking at these cases and bringing them back before us.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you, sir. Now, one item of new business, and that item is request consideration to purchase equipment for the wastewater department. Ms. McConnell.
Mr. Mayor and Council, you heard part of this discussion about using funds from our lease purchase agreement at our last meeting where we purchased some equipment for the wastewater department. This will continue the use of those dollars to buy we're recommending the purchase of another piece of equipment that continues our growth in technology, and I'd like to ask Utilities Director Jeff Caldwell to tell you a little bit about this piece of equipment and how we will use it to advance our efforts in the wastewater division.
Thank you, Ms. McConnell. Yes, this piece of equipment is called the Sewer Line Rapid Assessment Tool. They call it the SLRAT for short. It is a highly portable tool that has two pieces. One is a transmitter that sends out a sound, and the other is a receiver that receives that sound. So it travels down through the manhole. It's all surface mounted. It travels through the manhole. It can, based on the sound that it receives from the receiver, it can tell you if there's a blockage in that pipe of some sort. So basically it's just a pre-inspection type tool that will let you know if there's an issue that you may want to put more resources toward. You can go in and possibly, based on that reading, you can go in and TV camera it or go down and look at it and see what you may have in that you may need to repair. So that unit has been around since 2010. It's been through about 3 generations, so they've made it more portable, more rugged for in-the-field use. What we understand, you can do if you need to, you can do about 10,000 feet a day. Where if you're out with a sewer camera, you can do about 2,500 feet a day. So it's about 4 times more effective, and you can do it without confined space. issues also. It is manufactured by InfoSense, which is in Charlotte, North Carolina, and is sold exclusively in our state by Hayward Incorporated out of Charlotte. And so because of that, it's considered a sole source, so there's only one place we can get it. The package that we have a quote on is $25,310, and so that will use a little over half of our remaining $49,400. And so with that, we would recommend your approval to purchase.
Thank you, sir. Any comments, Mr. Chapman?
Is there the length of the warranty and the longevity of the unit once we purchase it?
I believe it is a 1-year warranty, and that you can get additional and warranties on that. You can get some O&M, forget what they actually call it, but you can get some other increases. It was about $3,000. It was a pretty substantial portion of the cost of it. So we did not pursue that, but there's also some software that goes with this too that is included.
What's the typical life of this?
I would expect we would get 10, 15, 20 years out of it, at least.
Okay.
But like I said, they've only been on the market for 7, 8 years. But everybody who I've talked to, and they've done numerous presentations at seminars I've been to, and conferences I've been to, so, and everyone speaks very highly of it.
It's interesting that the acronym is RAT for the sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. We'll take Dr. Thompson, then Mr. Stewart.
Jeff, I know all of us have been reading about what happened to a young man who fell into the sewer line. Where was it? And they found him, and after about 12 hours or so, he was floating down in the sewer. If something like that happened to us, could we, I know this is just a line here, but just thinking about that.
Right.
If someone fell into the sewer area in our system, would there be a possibility of rescuing? This young man had been there for 12 hours or more, and he was rescued and in fairly good condition.
Like I imagine through a manhole lid that may have.
They dug the manhole.
Okay, that may have, yep.
So if that happened to us.
Yep. Part of our CMON programs are to assess the condition of our manholes. So we're going through and we'll note that and that's another plus to this is we do have to do those almost 700 manholes per year, 600, 700 manholes per year. So every time we open a manhole to do this work, we'll be assessing that manhole also.
Good. I was looking at our 2 council members with children down here to my left, and I was wondering how that could happen. Any other questions?
Mr. Stewart, another question. Yes.
No, she's good.
You through? Well, I've got a couple questions. I'm not exactly sure how the thing works yet.
Okay.
Is it like a little robot that goes, one section goes down in the sewer line, and then you have a receiver up above that? Or is it like ground penetrating radar?
It has a kind of a grid system on top. It kind of lays over the top of the manhole. So there's no manhole entry, and the unit just hangs off the bottom of that. And I mean, it's all, it doesn't lower itself in the manhole. It just sits there. So it sends out that noise, that sound that the receiver is designed to receive, and it knows based on how far it is away that it should receive a sound at this decibel level, maybe something along those lines. And so if it doesn't, it knows that there may be some blockage, whether it be roots or a tap that may be a little bit inside or an offset joint. Something like
In that case, I'd like to see that we go ahead and purchase this equipment for wastewater.
Second.
Take a Sloppage had a first motion, and Dr. Thompson had the second. Have more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We stand adjourned. Jeff has more. The adjournment is coming soon. Administrative briefing, Ms. McCollum.
You do have in your package your quarterly progress report, so we encourage you to take a look at that. Those are the items on your major agenda for the year. And then as far as upcoming events, we've got the Anderson County Municipal Association meeting at 7 p.m. in Iowa this coming Thursday, and the City Council retreat on Thursday the 19th. So please put that on your calendar. We also have the Westside Community Coalition meeting on the 17th at 4 p.m. at the Westside Community Center, and the Southeast Anderson Task Force meets on April agenda, April calendar. That's all we have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. And there's a lot of information in the quarterly report. There's a lot going on. I got a little ahead of myself, but I would entertain a motion to adjourn. First and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We stand adjourned.
Quick meeting.